right? So talking about quadrilaterals, how many points we need? 4 points. So accordingly, how many sides will be there? There are a total of 4 sides. Okay, 4 angles will be there, internal, external, all of that we can talk about. Can I have the screen? Screen. Thank you. Yes, so let's have quick look over what is vertices, what is sides, diagonals, adjacent side, opposite angle, opposite side. So all of this we have to understand before going into this chapter called quadrilaterals, right? This is all basic parameters. Because I have seen in the last class, there was some student who was asking continuously, sir, what is vertex? So I do not expect, I'm not expecting this kind of doubt, right? So that is the reason I have covered this already. This is vertices, points A, B, C, D, right? This is all vertex. Combinedly, they are called vertices. Yes, this is for class 9th. Why do you think this is for not for 9th? Is there any particular reason? Senapati? Okay. Hello, Presidency. Hello. Thank you for your attendance. Shillong, they have shared 8083 port number. So, Shillong, can I raise your hands? Shillong. 8083. Okay. So, why they are not responding? Yes, just right now we have started, you are not late. Yes. Yeah, that's true. So this is class 9th and now only we are starting, okay? Shillong, will you please raise your hand, Shillong? I need to make sure that I can see you because there are some kids. I don't know, is there any other issue or network issue problem? Okay, anyway, so what is vertices? Points A, B, C, D, all these points are vertices, corner points, right? And parallelly, you please write it down, all of the points. Second is sides. So how many sides it contains? Total of 4 sides. In order, we call it AB, BC, CD, and DA. Total of 4 sides are there, 4 points are there, vertices are there. The next is diagonal. What is a diagonal? Diagonal is line segment meeting the opposite point, okay? This is AC and BD are the diagonals. What is adjacent sides? Adjacent sides are basically those sides, those 2 sides having a common point will be termed as adjacent side. Here in this case, AB and BC, they will make a pair of adjacent side. Similarly, VC and CD, again, we have the C point common. This is B point common. Likewise. Next is opposite sides. Opposite sides are basically those sides who do not have any common point. Okay? So this is AB and CD. They are opposite sides. Conjugative angles are basically those adjacent angle, right? Angle A and angle B are called conjugative angles. B and C, conjugative angles. C and D, conjugative angles. So basically this is like if I ask you what are conjugative integers, right? So you would say 1, 2 conjugative, 2, 3, 4 conjugative. You getting? It can be 3 to 1 also, right? Opposite angles, those who are not conjugative. A, B, C. So A and C will be opposite. Here B and D will be opposite. You getting it? This is all basic. All of you must be knowing this. So when you are done with the writing part, let me know all of you. Then we will do types of quadrilaterals, rectangles, square, parallelogram, trapezium, kite, and many more, right? And many more. Rhombus is there, rhombus. Okay. Yeah, I am not that well today. What is conjugative angles? Conjugative angles are the angles those have a common side, made on a common side. Angles having a common side. Okay, common side. This is called conjugative angles. CC-pur. Is there any problem with CC-pur? CC-pur, would you tell me in which class you are right now? Is it 9th or 11th? CC-pur. कुछ problem है? Sarcasm. You are started, huh? You started again. Class 9. No, why did you mention physics? Why not chemistry or bio? Why it is particularly physics, CC-pur? Yeah, anyway, we will talk later. But in general, I have to cover for now. So next is opposite angles. AC and BD will be called opposite angles. Okay. Next is types of quadrilaterals. First one. Very quickly, what is first? Parallelogram. I got it. First, parallelogram. Let me write down all the figures. This is rectangle. First. Second, when all the sides are equal, this will become a square. Okay. Third, this is what? Trapezium. Yes, yes. That we can also discuss. We will discuss one by one, don't worry. Fourth is This is A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. Let me draw all the figures, then we will discuss all of them together, because that will actually give you a better difference, right, between any of the two figures. Fifth one. Rhombus. This is parallelogram. Sixth one, kite. Okay, so these are 6 quadrilaterals, primarily known as. Otherwise, there are so many figures we can draw. Any random figure which is having 4 points, 4 sides will also be a quadrilateral. Okay. Now, in rectangles, what we can conclude that there will be 2 parallel sides, 2 pair of parallel side opposite. You see, this is AD and BC are parallel. Similarly, AB and CD will be parallel, right? And they will be equal also. AD will be equals to BC, AB will be equals to CD, but they are not all together equal, right? All the angles will be 90 here. If you find any point to write down, you can write down. Otherwise, I'll be just telling you one by one. Second is square. Squares, all the sides will be equal. All angles are 90. Okay? And all the sides, basically, opposite side, they will be parallel. So, 2 parallel sides, 2 pair of parallel sides will be there. Is that clear? Okay. Now, next is talking about its diagonals. This is diagonal. Diagonal, they will intersect, or I would say bisect each other. Diagonals will bisect each other, but not at 90 degree. The most important point here, which I have seen, you kids will actually do mistake here. In this case, diagonals do not intersect at 90 degrees. Diagonals do not intersect at 90 degrees. This is very important. You have to remember. Coming along, opposite sides means opposite side. You see, opposite sides AB and CD. AB and CD, these two are opposite side. It is not necessarily for any quadrilaterals to define consecutive or opposite. It should be a symmetric figure. No, that is not necessarily true. Okay? Basically, in all the quadrilaterals, there will be total of 4 vertices. So basically, those who are having the common side, right? Common side, they are called consecutive angles. Consecutive side means 2 consecutive sides, means 2 adjacent sides. One after one, right? Opposite means we will be skipping one and then we will get the other one. Like if AB is there, so we have to skip BC. Then we will count CD as its opposite. AB and CD will be opposite. Okay? Bad joke, Sisipur, bad joke. No, I do not appreciate this at all. Bad humor. Okay, so I think in this you may have doubts, so that is the reason I have told you that diagonals do not intersect at 90 degrees. Alright? And here, you see, diagonals, they will intersect and actually they will be at 90 degree. Diagonals intersect at 90 degrees. Trapezium, next is trapezium. So this is a kind of geometry in which we call it trapezium. So trapezium, there will be total of one side, one parallel side, right? In trapezium, we have one parallel side and one non-parallel side. Now this is called an isosceles trapezium, where we have this kind of geometry. Otherwise, this is also a trapezium. Always remember, bachcho, this is also a trapezium. Right? A, B, C, D is also a trapezium, but it will be an isosceles one. Isosceles trapezium, this is a regular trapezium. No. Adjacent, conjugative, there is no direct relation between them. Okay, there is no direct relation between conjugative and adjacent. In general, okay, in general. Now there will be some quadrilaterals, will be one of the cases, cyclic quadrilaterals, where we have a relation between them, definitely. Okay, but not in general. So here I have just defined all the basic terms, all the basic terminology, right? You should not go for the further results, whether they will give you 180 or 90. That we will discuss. Okay, one by one. That will be different for different cases, for different kind of figures. Okay, parallelogram, two parallel side. This is also two parallel side. They will be equal. They will not be at 90 degrees. These are not 90 degrees. Okay, you guys know na what is this basic figures, or do I need to write all the things? How many sides, how many vertex, diagonals? Tell me. I hope that you guys already know this. This is what we are doing from class 6th, I guess, right? Rhombus. Rhombus, all the sides will be equal. They will not be at 90 degrees. This is not necessarily at 90 degrees. Okay. These are the diagonals. They will intersect at 90, and also they will bisect each other. Okay. In this, two diagonals will be there, right? Here it is important. Diagonals do not bisect. Do not bisect each other. Okay, they will not bisect. Is that true? Yes. They will never bisect actually. You can understand why this also. You can easily understand, okay, this is not bisecting actually, right? This is not bisecting. This half is not equals to this half. These are different. Is that clear? These two sides length will be different. So we cannot say they are intersecting or they are bisecting each other. Is that clear? Please remember, these are important points. Here, these angles are not 90, certainly, because if this is 90, if this all angles of this rhombus will become 90 degrees, then it will become a square, right? A special case of rhombus, which is a square. Okay? These angles will be 90. Diagonals will intersect, diagonals bisects, directly I would write bisects each other at 90 degrees. Clear? They will be 90 degree also and bisect each other. All the sides will be equal. These two will be parallel, these two will be parallel. All the things are same as almost as a square. The only difference is these angles are not 90 certainly. Is that clear? Because I will ask you some question after this. Whether all the rhombus are squares, all these squares are rhombus, and all of that. This kind of question we will do. So then we will see how many of you are actually answering it correctly. Next is kite. Kite is basically, you all know what is kite, right? Kite is something which you have seen I mean, in real life examples, I must say. Kite and kite, we have two sides. These two are equal. These two are equal side. These two are another pair of equal side. One of, you see, this is not bisecting, okay? Here, the point is to notice is that if this is point, let's say O, then AO equals to OC. Yes, kite is a quadrilateral. Any geometry which has four vertices, that will be a quadrilateral. Okay? This is important, that AO equals to OC. And definitely these are all angles will also be 90. Seriously, kite. Oh, I don't know why it is so. You didn't see kite actually. This is not that kite or eagle, that eagle, the word one, right? Okay. So this is how a kite will look, right? This is the shape of a kite. Okay. These two sides will be smaller comparison to these lower fragment, right? This will be higher in length, right? This will be smaller. See, this is smaller, this is higher. Thank you. This will be smaller, right? This is smaller, and this will be higher, like this. These two are smaller and equal. These two are smaller and equal, and these two are higher in length, and they are also equal, pair-wise, right? All the angles at diagonals where they will intersect, that will be 90 degrees, and one of the diagonal will get intersected. I mean, get bisected. AO equals to OC, but not OB equals to OD. This is D. This is D. OB is not equals to OD. So, if any doubt before moving ahead, please let me know. I'll tell you again if there is any doubt. Otherwise, I'll give you some questions now. An important note to remember is, very good, very good. Some of all the interior angles, of a quadrilateral equals to 360 degrees. This is always true. Because of their shape, definitely Tamenglong, because of their shape. You see, this is a parallelogram. Okay. This is a parallelogram, right? What are the diagonals? Diagonals are these two diagonals. And they are not even also equal in length, right? Diagonals will not be equal in length. Right? They will not bisect each other, and also they are not equal in length. Let me write here. Diagonals are not of equal length. They will be different, okay? They will be different. This will be higher in length, this will be lower in length, right? If I were to define that ABCD, then we will have that AC diagonal is higher than or greater than BD diagonal. Also remember that if this is suppose E point, then AE would not be equals to CE, DE would not be equals to BE, right? They will not bisect. And also that AEB, any of this angle, AEB, let me take AEB for now. AEB is not equals to 90 degree. Always remember. Even any of the angle, BEC is not also 90 degrees. But definitely there is one thing for sure, vertically opposite angle. That is also valid. I mean, that is always valid. DEC equals to AEB and BEC equals to AED. If any doubt, please ask me. Basically, this is parallelogram, right? Tilde, right? We have this parallel two sides, opposite parallel sides, and they are equal in length, right? Similarly, there are two parallel sides, which is again equal in length, right? If I were to make this geometry like this, with the ground, with the horizontal level, if I tilt this angle, which is suppose any theta, any angle, it is not certainly 90, right? But if I were to make it 90 degrees, then it will be, I mean, if this is a parallelogram, right? This will be a rectangle. Is that clear? So the only difference, because of this particularly, you see here, this is not also 90. Even rectangle, this is not 90. Then how it is possible in parallelogram? I'll give you the questions now, then we will discuss it further. Question is, straight, true or false? Very good, Tamenglong. Straight, true or false? First one. All the rectangles are square. All the rectangles are parallelogram. Third point, all the rhombus are parallelogram. All the rhombus are squares. Fourth point, all the trapezium are parallelogram. Fifth is diagonals of a rectangle bisects each other at 90 degrees. 6. Diagonals of a kite bisects each other at 90 degrees. Okay? So these are all questions you have to answer. 1, false, by writing 1, then after it is false or true. So F and T you can say, right? You don't need to write completely false or true. False or true. All the rectangles are square. No, it is not true. False, right? It is a false. But yes, all these squares are rectangle, that will be true. Vice versa is true. Okay. Second, all the rectangles are parallelogram. All the rectangles are parallelogram. Is it true? See, what I am writing now in general, I would not say this is always true, right? This is in general. Whatever it is given now, it is in general. But if a parallelogram you are considering of the case, suppose rectangle, then it will be different scenario. But in general, I am writing that this will be there. Senapati is saying, sir, first is false, second false, third false, fourth false. Okay, let me check. So all the rectangles are parallelogram. Is that true? Is that true? See, all the parallelograms are, all the rectangles are parallelogram. Yes, that is true. So true, damn true it is, right? Always remember, parallelogram simple meaning is there will be parallel sides, pair of parallel side, opposite side they will be parallel, that's it. This is all about parallelogram. How you define parallelogram? Parallelogram is basically in which opposite sides are parallel and they are equal. These are called parallelogram. So yes, rectangle will also be a parallelogram because it is opposite sides are parallel and they are equal, right? This is also equal and parallel. This is also equal and parallel. That's a different thing that we have 90 degrees. So that is a special case of being rectangle. But we can always put this rectangle into the category of parallelogram. Is that true? No, this is what I am telling you, na guys. This is in general. What diagram I have given you, in this we can say A is not equals to C, B is not equals to D. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Right? But if you consider a rectangle, that is again a parallelogram. So it will be taking the different properties then. See, the diagram I have given you, I have shown you. According to that, I have given you this statement, A is not equals to C, D is not equals to B. But if you consider this way, that these sides are equal, all these sides become equal, then things will be different then, right? Things will be different then. All these squares are also parallelogram. Not only not only rectangles, all these squares will be parallelogram. What is parallelogram actually? Let me give you a written statement for this. Parallelogram. Let me define parallelogram, okay? A quadrilateral in which opposite sides are equal and parallel. This is only definition of parallelogram, simply. Parallel sides equal, right? Parallel sides equal, parallel sides equal. There will be total of two pairs of parallel and equal sides. Now, wherever it will fit, that geometry or that diagram would become a parallelogram. Is it valid for rectangle? Yes, because in rectangles, see, this is a rectangle, right? This is a rectangle. This mobile is a rectangle. Do you agree? Why? Why it is a parallelogram? As I have defined you, can you understand by this? See, this is the parallel side, right? This is the parallel side, okay? These are also equal. This is again parallel and these two are equal, right? So this is a rectangle, also this is in parallelogram. But if I were to actually do this, right? Forget about this and you can extend to this, right? something like this. This angle will not be 90. We have to tilt it a little, right? Like this. Like this case, right? This case. Where these two sides are equal and parallel, these two sides are also equal and parallel. This is CC4. Bad humor. Anyway, this is an iPhone. I only use iPhone, that's a fucking fact. Okay. So, is it, please stop at CC4, okay, thank you. Yes, I am. By heart. By heart, I am very rich. Not by money. Okay, so is there any doubt regarding parallelogram? Do discussion as much you want to do, because parallelogram, I have seen kids in 12th and 11th, they have still doubt. They still have doubts, I mean, in a given parallelogram, whether two diagonals will bisect or at 90 degrees, and there are so many doubts, right? So what about third one now? Third one, rhombus are squares. All the rhombus are square? No. That is false, right? But all these squares are rhombus? Yes, that will be true. All these squares will be rhombus? That will be true. Okay? Trapezium or parallelogram? All the trapezium are parallelogram. You see, trapezium. What is trapezium? Trapezium says there will be only one parallel side. There will be set of one parallel side. So both the pair of sides are not parallel. This is again false. So basically what I have considered in true and false, mostly they are basically knowledge based statement that you have to remember. Okay, this is not true. This seems to be true. They are most I would say ambiguous question or kind of doubts everybody will be having in future after 1 or 2 classes. But we have to understand these 5 to 6 points. That will really help you. Okay. Diagonals of a rectangle bisects each other at 90 degrees. False. This again false. Tamenglong, I think that all of your answers are correct. But not the last one. There is a mistake in 6th. Who will tell me why it is false? Let me tell you the answer first of all. It is false. Why? What is that word? Because of that, it is being false. It is being lying in the category of false. Anybody. 6 is not true. 6 is false. I think you just noticed the 90-degree angle. Yeah, definitely. Let me show you the diagram also. This is 90. I totally agree. All the angles are 90. But there is something which is not true. Tamenglong, we will take break, but after 15 minutes because we have started at 4:30. So it is just half an hour. Please wait. Yes, Senapati. That's great. So Senapati have noticed this. Bisects. They are not bisecting each other. Right? They are not bisecting. They are simply at 90 degrees. This is true. I agree. But this is this because of this word, this is not true. Only one will get bisected, not both of them. Okay, thank you Tamenglong, thank you Senapati. So I think all of these 6 points are clear to all of you. Very good. Now we will do some question on this particular. Sum of all the interior angles of a quadrilateral is 360. Okay. And bacho, I can tell you in general, there is a formula. In general, we have this formula, please remember. Sum of all the interior angles of an n-sided polygon. Of an n-sided polygon equals to, what will be the answer? N minus 2 into pi. N minus 2 into pi. Okay, sorry, you do not know what is pi now. So, n minus 2 into 180 degrees. Into 180 degrees. You can remember this way. N minus 2 into 180 degrees. Is that clear? What does that mean? For example, in case of a triangle, sum of all the angles will be how much? 3 minus 1. Because n equals to 3, n is nothing but the number of sides. Where n is n-sided polygon basically, so n is the number of sides. Okay. Triangle. In triangle there will be total of, what will be the total sum? That will be 3 minus 1, right? This is 3 minus 1 into 3 minus 2 into 180. So that will be 180 only, right? In case of quadrilateral, what is the sum? 4 minus 2 into 180. So that will be 360. Similarly, if we were to find out for pentagon, 5-sided, which is actually 5-sided, right? N equals to 5 in this case. So what will be the answer? 5 minus 2 into 180, which is 540 is the answer. Is it clear? So this is in general, please remember. Now we will do some questions. Question number 1. What is a polygon? Polygon are basically, as in three-sided geometry we call triangle. Na? Triangle means tree, right? 3 sides, 3 vertex. Quadrilateral means 4. Quad means 4. Basically, what is the meaning? Na? Tri means actually 3, number in 3. Quad, these are all Greek terms, right? I can tell you history of this, but not needed actually. Tri means 3. As a number counting, it will be 3. Quad means 4. 4 in counting. And polygon means, if I were to assume, a polygon whose sides are total of n, right? If I were to do all of this, n sides, that will be a n-sided polygon. Polygon means any geometry which has more than 4 or 4, 5, right? So polygon actually, 3 sides is also a polygon. I mean, triangle is also a case of polygon, where we have 3 sides. Quadrilateral is also an example of polygon, where we have 4, n equals to 4 value. Pentagon is again n equals to 5. How a pentagon look like? See, this is the pentagon. This will be the pentagon, right? 5. What is a hexagon? If this is 6, hexagon. Okay? Pentagon, this is hexagon. N equals to 6, here n equals to 5. Polygon means poly. What is poly actually? Poly is for plural, right? Poly. Mono, right? One, anyway, I'll not go into chemistry, mono, bi, right? Tri. But I guess you know that. Mono is for single, right? Poly is for more than 2, right? More than 2. Yes, mono, bi, tri, yes, not directly poly, right? Not directly poly, but yes, poly is for more than 2 or more than 3, right? So triangle is also a case of polygon. Quadrilaterals is also a case of polygon. So all of these are polygon, right? But if suppose, if we have 4 sides, then we have some names. Okay, this is rectangle, this is called quadrilateral. If we have 5, then this is called pentagon. But if I were to say you, tell me what is the name of polygon which has 150 sides, then there is no name for it, right? We simply call it 150-sided polygon. Now you're getting it? So we do not have a specific name, but we will directly tell, okay, 150-sided polygon, 140-something sided polygon, and so on. Is that clear? Sisipur. Okay, let me do some questions now. Question is, in a quadrilateral ABCD, in a quadrilateral ABCD, angle ABCD are in the ratio 1:2:3:4:5. Then find out all the angles. You have to find out angle A, B, angle C, and angle D. So how we will start? Let's consider, let angles be x, 2x, 4x, and 5x. Okay? And 5x. Now what we can have is that summation of all the angles will be 360. So x plus 2x plus 4x plus 5x equals to 360. This is how much? 12. I'll give you second question, don't worry. This is actually easy. So that is the reason I am doing it. Okay, cool. You please try it. I'm not doing it anymore, okay? Okay, you find out the value of all the angles. Yes, right. Senapati is correct. In a quadrilateral ABCD, AO and BO are, after this question we will take break, okay? AO and BO are bisectors of angle A and angle B, respectively. Prove that angle AOB equals to half of angle C plus angle D. No, Tamenglong. Not at all, dear, not at all. Okay, so finding x, what is the value of x? You will get 30 degrees, right? So then you can find out all the angles, isn't it? Hence, angle A will be 30, angle B will be 60, angle C will be 120, and D will become 150. Right? This is all value of the angles. Next is a good one. In a quadrilateral ABCD, AO and BO are bisectors of A and B respectively, you have to prove that AOB will be half of C plus D. A good question. So, as in there is no specific case about quadrilateral ABCD, but I would suggest you please draw up, a symmetric diagram, because that will be really easy to prove then. Otherwise, you will draw a random diagram, that it will look weird to solve also. Anyway, so let's consider this is A, B, C, D. Given AO and BO are bisectors, there is a point B which is bisecting these two. Right? What does that mean? That these two and these two are equal. This is somewhere point O. Okay? What is given to us? That OAB equals to OAD. Also, that this particular, what one? This one. OBC equals to ABO. Right? These two are equal. Now you have to prove that AOB equals to half of C plus D. So you take your time and tell me if anybody is done with this. What is the hint? Hint is sum of total angles will be 360. That is the only hint. Okay. See, this is quite easy. What you have to prove now, you should consider that angle only. So in triangle AOB, angle AOB I can always write as 180 minus of these two angles. Let's say this is sum 1, this is sum 2. Okay. So what I can write, bacho? That 1 plus 2, is that true? This is 1 degree, this is 2 degrees. So 180 minus of, sorry, this is not 1 or 2. I mean to say 1 plus 2, right? Angle 1 plus of angle 2. And also what we can conclude is angle 1 equals to half of the complete angle, which is BAD. Similarly, angle 2 will be half of this complete angle ABC. Okay. Yes, we'll do on in break, CCpur, in the break time. Okay. Let me finish this for now. AOB equals to 180 minus of 1 plus 2. Sum of all the angles will be 180. So from that we can write this. Now, you want to remove this 1 and 2. All right. So how would you remove this? Now 180 minus of, what is 1 and 2? 1 and 2 are these values, right? So half of what? BAD plus of ABC, right? This angle plus of this angle. Now, what is BAD actually? BAD plus ABC, this total sum, this angle A plus angle B, what it would be? It will be 360 minus of C plus D. Do you understand why it is so? Because sum of all the angles will be 360. So sum of these two will be 360 minus of C and D. Is that true? Now, further, this is 180 minus of, this is again 180, and this will be plus half of C plus D. 180 gets cancelled and we are left with half of C plus D. Okay? And this is what? AOP. Hence proved. This is what we were supposed to prove. See, easy. Hmm? If any doubt, anyone, let me know. And after this, we can take a break now. Okay, but please be back soon because 5 to 6 minutes. We have already started this session today at 4:30, so we were already late. So I need you to come back at 5:30. As I can see, there are different timings on different screens. But you can come by 10 minutes. That is more than enough. Okay? Yeah, please. Hello, hello. Yes, Shillong, are you back? Senapati, Sisipur, Tamenglong, Kohima, Presidency, Tatso, everyone. Total of 9 centers alive. Great. Please be seated. Yeah, I was just going through by the notes and I noticed one thing that is incorrect. Diagonals do not bisect each other. This is not correct. Okay, diagonals bisect each other. Diagonals actually bisect each other. They do not bisect each other at 90 degree. This is diagonal bisect. Okay. Please, you corrected all of you. Diagonals bisect each other. One more time, diagonals of a parallelogram will always bisect each other. Okay? As a note, you can also write as it is valid for any kind of geometry. Okay? Note. If diagonals bisects each other, quadrilateral is in a quadrilateral, then it is always a parallelogram. This is how we denote parallelogram in short. Yes, Senapati, I'll explain. But you please do correction there while defining parallelogram. Diagonals bisect each other, right? In a quadrilateral, then it is always a parallelogram. So in a parallelogram, two diagonals will always bisect each other. Yes, talking about the previous problem. So I think we are good so far. 180 minus how we are getting this half of BAD plus of ABC, right? What is BAD, bachcho? BAD is this angle total A and this is ABC, which is angle B. Now how we are writing this 360 minus of this now? Since sum of all the angles A plus B plus C plus D equals to 360, so A plus B will be 360 minus C plus D. Now from this we will put value here and you will get the result, right? This is half of this, right? And if you were to take this half now, you will multiply, so you will get 180. So 180 minus 180 will give you, basically get cancelled off, and we are left with plus of half C plus D. That is what we were supposed to prove. Is that clear, Senapati? Please rewrite it. If diagonals bisect each other in a quadrilateral, then it will always be a parallelogram, or vice versa is also true. Okay? Is there any doubt so far? If no, then let's do more problems. Problem is, okay, prove that the diagonals of a rhombus are always perpendicular to each other. This you have to prove. Prove that the diagonals of a rhombus are always perpendicular to each other. Again, similarity triangles, using concept of similarity and congruency of a triangle, we have to prove them. Okay, so let's first try to understand the question. Question is, diagonal of a rhombus are perpendicular to each other. What is a rhombus, bachcho? Rhombus is this one. Tamenglong. Yes, Tamenglong. Bachcho, what is 1 and 2? What is 1 and 2 now? You see. Let me write it properly. Forget all of this. Give me just a minute and I'll be back to the next problem. Tamenglong, focus. You see, this is 180, AOB. In this triangle AOB, you can always write angle AOB equals to 180 minus of angle OAB plus of angle OBA. Right? Now, which is nothing but, this is nothing but half of BAD. Right? This OAB is actually half of this complete angle, half of this complete angle BAD, right? Or you can also write it as half of A angle, simply A. Similarly, here in the second case, OBC will be half of angle B. OBC will be half of complete angle. B means this complete angle. When I am writing only B, that means the complete angle at the vertex, which is ABC. Are you getting it? Now, I think this is done, right? Half of BAD plus of ABC, which is A plus of B indirectly. Okay, this complete angle A, complete angle B. So that will be 360 minus of C plus D angle. And then we can do it. Prove that the diagonals of a rhombus are always perpendicular to each other. So let's draw the diagram first of all. Yes, very good. This is a rhombus A, B, C, D, right? Now, from a rhombus, what we are given actually? Let me write down all the given things. Given is basically, if this is a rhombus, then of course A, B equals to BC equals to CD equals to DA. All the sides will be equal, right? This is we know. Also, we know that AB will be parallel to CD and AD will be parallel to BC. This is also we can conclude from the given rhombus. Now, what we want to prove is to prove that, let's say this is point O, then we want to prove that all the angles COD, AOB, BOC, all are they equal, right? Always perpendicular to each other. They are all equal and they are also 90 degrees. AOD equals to 90 degrees. Is this clear? Right. Is there any construction we need to do? No. Right? We can do a lot of this by the given information directly. So you take your time, like 1 or 2 minutes, and tell me how would you prove that these all angles are equal and also making 90 degrees. Okay? So how would you prove this? Quite easy. Consider triangles, or in triangles, let me take any of the two triangles. Let's say this is, okay, we also know that bisects, right? These two diagonals will bisect each other also. So that we can also conclude initially, right? That AO will be equals to OC and OB equals to OD. That also we can conclude. Okay. Now you see, using this is really important, because why we can do so? Because I have just told you here, if diagonal bisects each other in a quadrilateral, it is always a parallelogram, and a rhombus is always a parallelogram. Any rectangle, any square, any rhombus, they are always a parallelogram. And in parallelogram, diagonals are actually bisecting each other. So in triangle AOB, and triangle AOD, what we can have is OB equals to OD, right? Diagonal bisect each other. AO is equals to AO common side, okay? And also we have that AB equals to AD from rhombus, right? So using this side, triple S congruency, okay, we can prove that these two are congruent. Triangle AOB is congruent to triangle AOB. Now, what we can conclude from this, that angles will be equal. AOB will be equals to angle AOD. Now, angle AOB plus of angle AOD will give you how much? 180 degrees, because they are linear pair angle. Is it correct? Linear pair, right? Now, if I were to replace both the angles by AOB, so twice of AOB will be 180. And what is AOB finally? AOB will be 180 by 2, which is 90s. So angle AOB will be 90 degrees. Yeah, there are so many ways to do this. This is just one of the way. And they're also equal, right? Similarly, we can do in the other two, I mean AOB and BOC. So again, you will prove that AOB equals to 90 and B equals to 90. So all of these angles will be equal and they are equals to 90. Is that correct? Yes? Yes, we can do so. CC put, yes, correct. There is a lot of things we can do basically, because rhombus is the most symmetric diagram. Apart from these angles at the vertices, all the things are bisecting 90, they are equal, parallel, and all of that, right? Next question we will do, it is a good one. Yes, you know something. You know everything. You know everything. Question is, in a quadrilateral ratios of all the angles are 2:4:5:7. Then find the values or measurement of angles. Find the measurement of angles. Okay. So I think this you can do. You please do it. This is just for sake of revision. So are you afraid? Are you afraid, huh? Sisipur? I don't think so. What is the answer? Just tell me the answer. You will need it, don't worry. My best wishes is with you, so you all will crack it. Don't worry. I'll be there with you, okay? So if you have any doubt, you just have to close your eyes and I'll be there for you. Like in movies, है ना? Right? Okay, so problem is 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7. So let's add them together. So what we get is 6 plus 5, 11, 18, x equals to 360. From this x equals to 20, right? You can find out the values now, which is 40. Angles will be how much? Angles will be 40 degrees, 80 degrees, 100 degrees, 140 degrees. These are the values of angles. Yes. Senapati, there is something mistake in the first angle. Instead of 20, it will be 40. Okay. Let's do this problem, a good one. Question is, last problem for the day. Problem is, actually we'll do two problems. In a parallelogram, ABCD, if angle A equals to 120, or let's take 130, then find angle B, C, and angle D. Next is, the second problem is, from the rhombus, or let me take this one, in the figure ABCD is a parallelogram, compute the values of x and y. X and y. Figure is given in the second case. This is the figure. (12x), this is how much? 7y. This is 28. This is 60 degrees. All right. So in the first, we are given that ABCD is a parallelogram. So let me solve first. Given that ABCD in the cyclic order, okay, ABCD. So all of this is what we have is A equals to 130. My bad. This is A equals to 130, right? And if this is A equals to 130, so C is also same, right? A and C, they are same, 130. Okay? Is that true? Yes. And always remember, actually, somebody was asking me about, sir, is there any consecutive angle property? Yes. Sum of two consecutive angles will be 180. I told you, I'll discuss it later, right? So this is the time that I can tell you, okay, A plus B will always give you 180. Similarly, B plus C will give you always 180, or else any of the two consecutive angle, right? B equals to D equals to 50 degrees. Both are 50 and 50s. Always remember, there is a note which you can remember, sum of any two consecutive angles, sum of any two consecutive angles in a parallelogram, is always 180 degrees. Is always 180 degrees. You please remember it. It will help you a lot. And also second point is opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal, right? They are equal. So these 2 points are enough to answer this question. First one, right? Now coming to second question, in the figure ABCD is a parallelogram, compute the values of X and Y. So what is the value of X? Now, as you can see in the chapter lines and angle, if you consider these two are parallel lines, this A, B, C, this is D. So here we have A, B and CD lines, right? They are parallel, AB and CD. And we have this transversal, right? Transversal, AC. It seems to be a transversal. Then definitely these are what? Interior alternate angle. So they will be equal. Is that true? Here this ACD will be equals to CAB, alternate interior angle. If they are equal, then we are done. 12x will be equals to 60 degrees, from this value of x is 5 degrees. Similarly, 7y will be equals to 28. So what is the value of y? Equals to 4 degrees. Okay? Is there any doubt, anyone? Finding x and y or A, B, C, D in the first question? Tell me if you have any doubt, anyone? See, this chapter is all about remembering, or recalling the properties at the time, right? Because there will be some properties in which you will be confusing, right? That they will be intersecting or bisecting, right? I mean, they are just intersecting or bisecting. If they are bisecting, it will be 90 degree or any general angle. So all of that you have to remember. But still, I would say this chapter is quite easy, because most of the question will be based on finding the values of some angles, or proving some sides they are equal, or sides are parallel, or some pair of angles we'll be talking about, or we will be proving them mainly. Okay, so in that, to prove this kind of thing, we always use congruency of two triangles. Okay, is there any doubt, any center? I guess no doubt, huh? Okay, great. So I'll still wait for 2 minutes. If there is any doubt, anyone, please let me know. And I request all of you to read your state, whatever your board is, state test book, okay? There is a lot of theory given regarding these parallelograms, rectangles, and all of these. So you have to write down all the points, important points in your note, right? And while understanding these important points, if you find any difficulty, let me know in the next class. Or if you are very curious about this, you can also ask me in the WhatsApp group. I'll discuss there also, okay? Yes, Itanagar, definitely. Question number 2. You have to find out the values of x and y, right? Interior alternate angle. These two are alternate interior angles, you see. Basically, this is JAD type geometry, na, they will always be equal. So 28 will be equals to 7y, and again, this 12x will be equals to 60y. These two are also equal. Are you getting it? Itanagar. Question number 2. Right, this is 28 equals to 7y, and this is 12x equals to 60. From this you can get the value of x and y. Any more doubt, Itanagar or anyone? If no, then we are done for the day. And I'll give you some problem. So I will share some assignment, not like 20 or 25 problems, just for 10 problems. Those will be enough. Tamenglong has doubt in question number 1. Okay. Is it clear, Tamenglong? CC4 crystal clear, very good. Itanagar also clear, great. So I hope then everything is done for the day. All right, all right. So take care, everyone. I'll see you in the next class. Travel safely, take care of your health. Bye-bye. Take care.